Hello, welcome to this video. My name is Alex, and today I am going to talk about the Mayan calendar. And the names I will be using will be the Quiche Maya way to use the names, the Johil. And there are 20 day signs in the calendar, and we're going to be focusing on one of those day signs. And for each day sign of those 20 signs, there's 13 numbers, and we're also going to be focusing on one of those numbers. So, a little bit of the Quiche Maya calendar. It's again 20 day signs. There's 13 numbers for each, so it's 260 days. It's a calendar that has a new cycle in the 260 days, and there's 260 day signs that go with their number and their day sign. So today I'm going to talk about bots. It's also known as Chun in the Yucatan, the Tolskin calendar. So if you know it in that way, that is the name of it. And what bots represents is the monkey. And what we see in the history of the Mayas, and specifically in the Popol Vuh, it starts with two twins, two monkeys, one monkey, one artisan. What this day sign, what this energy has, again, what is a day sign? It's the energy that you are born into. Sometimes they describe this as an archetype, and you can describe it that way if it makes a little bit sense, but this goes deeper. There's many different significance. The way that somebody will look at it or experience it or born into this energy will be different than everybody else, but there's a lot of similarities. Let me tell you some of these similarities of bots. When I come across the energy of bots, it's people who are very artistic, people that can express themselves, people that are really good at doing things. It could be something that I've been trying for 10 months, and then a bot comes like, hey, what are you doing? You're shooting that arrow? Let me try. And then they get the bullseye right away, and they're like, oh, this is so easy. And you're like, oh, what? They're so much better than I am, and I've been doing this for 10 months. What's happening? And that's the energy of bots, right? And if it's something that they're interested, they're like, yeah, like let me keep doing this, and they become really good at it. Sometimes they're like, oh, this is too easy, I'm not interested, I'm gonna go do something else, and they go, and whatever they put their focus on, they're really really good at it. Bots represents the energy of the artist, the writer, the poet, the musicians. So when somebody is expressing their bot's energy, or they're born into this, they have this energy that they're able to be a creator, an artist, and able to create beauty in a more simple way, that they can make something that looks simple and normal and nothing special to it. They could come, grab that, and just bring the beauty out of it and just create this like levels of beauty to it. That's what bots do. They come and they make something so small become so significant that it's like, wow, that is so awesome. So there are people that are born into this energy. And one of the persons that is born into this energy that is very interesting representation of bots, it's Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, he is a comedian, podcaster, UFC commenter. And one of the things that I really enjoy about Joe Rogan is the way that he is able to put all of his passion into what he does. He is one of the persons that, when he is commentating about UFC, he like gives the credit to the fighters, right? He explains to them, he picks them up. He makes this person that you have never seen fight, or maybe you don't know too much about, and he makes you like them. He makes you appreciate them. He highlights the specialties and the good qualities of this person. And now you have something to look into that, right? In podcasts, he's a very good podcaster because he is able to sit with the person and be able to bring things out of that person. I think you have said that, right? Like he wants to settle down and he talks to the person, makes them feel comfortable to a point that they forget that they're sitting in a room talking to millions and millions of people, and now this person is just in tune with him and they're able to have this conversation where it's just very in tune, and it feels like a one-on-one, and it becomes like a natural thing. If you see how long his podcasts are, they are from 2 to 3 hours and sometimes even longer. Like he'll have one of his comedian buddies like Duncan, and the podcast could be almost 4 hours. Or sometimes it could be a topic that is very interesting. And as a listener, as Joe Rogan, I'm like, whoa, the podcast is done. And then I look at it, I'm like, it's been 3.5 hours. Again, he talks about it. It didn't come natural to him, and he talks about how shitty some of them were, or bad. Maybe I'm throwing that word there, but they weren't good, and how that has become a art, a practice, and now he is good at it. Obviously, he's one of the top podcasters in the world. The other interesting thing about Joe Rogan being a bot is the writer, the poet. To hear him do some of his comedy, you're able to see that he falls into this trance of being able to talk and flow and win the crowd over. And when you don't expect it, there is the punchline, and then the whole room is laughing. That's also part of the bots, is being a performer, being able to captivate the audience. It's a very special sign. It's a very special day sign energy that if you're not a bots, which I'm not a bots, it does brings you back to like, I wish I could be a bots. But I'm not, but you can tap into the energy, and this is part of the beauty of the calendar, but that's a whole different video. The other thing that I would want to focus on this video is the number that Joe Rogan represents, or the Mayan represents or has from the Mayan calendar. So in the calendar, again, there are 13 numbers, and a little bit of the numbers in the day signs is 20 day signs. We have 20 fingers and toes, and 13, we have 13 major joints in our body, from our ankles all the way up to our neck, which is our 13, and they all have different representation of what these numbers are. Joe Rogan's number, which just happened a couple days ago, is 10. So what is 10, right? We were talking about 20 fingers, 20 toes. What does 10 represent? And a way to look at it is 5 and 5 is 10, 2 hands. And the thing that the hands is coming together, shaking, holding hands, bringing community together. So when you look at what Joe has done, especially with the comedy scene, you go back to some videos and you see how he stood up to Carlos Mencia because he was stealing jokes from the other comedians. That did not sit well with him, because it was not just impacting the person that they were stealing the jokes about, but it was impacting all of the comedians in the community. This person who was coming and stealing jokes was taking the work and the creativity of others and taking credit for it. So you can look at that video and the way that you see how he is, um, that is a value to him, community. And he confronts this person and tells him about how it's not okay to do this. And then a little bit of the history, which if you're a fan, you know that he was kicked out of from the store and he wasn't able to come back, right, for a few years. You know, now if you look at it, he's one of the best comedians. Seems like best things worked out the best way works. It worked out well for him. But after COVID, right, they shut down all these different places. Comedy wasn't allowed in California. It wasn't allowed in many different places. But there were some states like Texas who allowed to perform. And there is also history about that you could look on your own of how that happened. The thing that I want to focus on number 10 in community is how he was able to bring these people from the store, from California, from other places of the state, and bring him to Austin, Texas, and be able to create this community in that part of the world. And now it's one of the biggest comic community in the world. And also the way he did it, he brought people in the store. The comedy club was not open, and he was paying his employees before time, or that's what he says he did. But again, the ability to think for the community, it wasn't because he wanted to make money. It wasn't, he talks about like breaking even is fair. That's enough for him. But the way he built it, right? Like he was bringing people in and taking care of them, making sure that they were taken care of. And he was also protecting this art that's really important to him and important to many other people surrounded by him. Being able to provide this place where they could perform and they could practice their art. Again, 10 monkey, 10 bots represents the creativity, it represents the community, and bringing those together, you have this beautiful energy of the arts of the community. So that's a little bit of 10 bots. I would love to do different other people, different other day signs, but this is one that I really do personally have looked at and appreciated, and just see how it does reflect that from the calendar and from Joe Rogan. So, anyways, happy news cycle, Joe Rogan, on 10 bots. And enjoy this new cycle coming up for you and your whole community, and everybody else watching.